Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Hope to Recap, where we bring you up to speed on our latest D&D episode for our current D&D campaign, Ravenwood. Today we will be discussing episode 9, La Santa Mascara. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let's just jump right into it. The jailbreak begins and Alva is freed from his chains as he jolts towards the door with his new furry companion, attempting his best to evade the guards and find both Roland and Shen. In the meantime, Toto and Filippo manage to get their way into the control room of the prison, trying to ascertain how to release their friends as quickly as possible. And there they get caught by the main prison warden and 7 other guards. Toto makes a run for it while hitting Filippo hard on the side of his head to make it look believable that they were not together. On this way out, he manages to quickly pickpocket the main prison warden and obtains some sort of important keys. As the warden and guards run after Toto, Filippo manages to pick himself up and starts snooping around, trying his best to find where his friends are, and stumbles across a red button. After pressing it, he notices that the prison has now gone under a complete and total lockdown, blocking his own way out and everybody else's.
Filippo would push the button. Filippo would push the button? Filippo would push the button. It's not a good idea, but Filippo would push the button.
I have the keys.
So you don't realize, you hit the button and immediately all the lights that are normally in there, these normal white or yellow lights, they turn to red.
Yes.
And you hear slowly, starting from your chamber, you hear.
Oh, that's good. That's not good.
That's unlocking or locking?
Is that them locking?
And Alva, as you're still conversing on the floor, you hear behind you.
What do I see?
And you see these walls starting to come down. One of the guys is like looking up. He's like, he doesn't necessarily know what's going on. He grabs you and starts pushing you against the wall.
Oh, what?
And you hear the walls. And you are now locked in a small, probably
Just trapped out.
probably 30 by 10 small room.
Just me and him?
Just you and him.
Ania and Pearl are left outside the Capitol walls awaiting for Filippo to return, but notice the massive sentinels making their way to where they are. In a rush, they attempt to make their way back inside the city, but are stopped by the guards blocking their way in. Pearl, being short enough, dashes her way between the legs of the guards, while Ania uses her conquering presence to push her way in. Both manage to make it in safely as the guards lose sight of them due to the fact that the city folk are also running around town, freaking out about the current situation. They make their way to the prison, but before getting there, they feel the ground shake, and from behind them, another sentinel arises from the ground, destroying everything in sight. Now, in full panic, both ladies race towards the prison and meet up with Toto, who alerts them of what's happening.
As you guys are getting closer and closer to the jail, say there's probably a 2-minute walk or 2-minute sprint from the jail. Okay. You hear a loud thunderbolt right from behind you guys.
Behind us?
Yeah, behind you guys. In the first level of the Capitol.
Oh, can I look?
Yeah, you turn and you see as these 4 black skeletal fingers stand up, and then a 5th one.
Dude, this is
At the Capitol?
Why did we run in here?
It's pushing itself up. And
Wasn't that like not
out
where
of
they
the
were?
dust.
Yeah.
Not yet. You guys hadn't checked the Capitol yet.
Fuck. Oh.
So we can, like, it's like right there.
It's like right there, yeah.
Run.
You see it slowly start picking itself out of the sand. There's all the sand trails behind it. Whatever buildings were built on top of this area, you see them start to slide off, almost like if it's like a mudslide or whatever.
Wait.
And start collapsing.
Oh my
People are getting injured.
Oh god.
Okay, the guard.
People are getting like just straight up swallowed by the sand.
Meanwhile, back inside the prison, Filippo, locking himself in, begins to lift the heavy metal doors in order to make his way towards his friend, but fails a few times, injuring his toes. He manages to make his way to Alva, who's in the process of fighting a guard and losing. Both manage to knock out the guard and continue their way onward to rescue Shen and Roland. Back outside the prison, Toto, Ania, and Pearl notice Mil Muertes break into the prison with no issues. They decide to follow where Mil Muertes entered, only to see Mil Muertes standing outside a cell, Sterling's cell. After a few short minutes, Alva and Filippo catch up with the rest and see Mil as well. They focus on releasing Shen and Roland from their cells, and with this, the group is back together. Ania begins to talk to Mil Muertes, hoping it would de-escalate the situation, but Mil gives them one warning: to leave or to die. The group stays firm and Mil Muertes summons a handful of shadows that merge together to form 3 much bigger, more intimidating shadows. Mil Muertes knocks down the door to Sterling's cell, only to find Sterling meditating. Mil goes in for an attack, but his attack goes right through Sterling. From the top of the cell, Sterling comes flying down with a heavy leg kick on Mil Muertes, and with this, the battle erupts. As the group battles on with Sterling at their side now, the shadows still prove to be too strong for the group, so Sterling suggests that they leave and head towards the 3rd level of the capital and ensure La Santa Mascara is safe. Before managing to escape, Mil Muertes unleashes a devastating lightning strike at the team, and when everything seems to be over, something within Filippo unlocks. Filippo begins to see the lightning protrude outwards slowly, almost as if everything around him besides himself begins to slow down entirely. At this moment, he manages to move each of his friends aside and far away from the strike, saving them all. Right after, time begins to move at its regular speed again, and everyone, especially Mil Muertes, is dumbfounded by it. Sterling gives the group further instruction and thanks them for the letter that they left back in Infernio, since without it he wouldn't have been able to know they were going to be inside the prison. In order to help make their escape, Hammond arrives and eradicates one of the giant shadow creatures, creating an opening for the group to dash forward.
And then you hear a loud thunderbolt as you feel the warmth strike you, and rock slowly starts crumbling off.
Oh my god!
You open your eyes and you see
I get it now.
and you see a Filippo sat in the center, meditating, as a rainbow of colors is swirling around him. As you see, you have now kind of come out of one of the Filippo statues. And you're just kind of like looking around. Jumping back into the real world, you open your eyes, and as you're falling slowly, you see as the lightning is slowly crawling through the ground. Using your natural monk's instincts, you catch yourself. You land on your feet.
Yeah.
Before the lightning even strikes the rest of your friends, what do you do?
Oh fuck. I try to push my friends out of the path of the lightning as it's going down.
What's your movement speed?
45. Oh wait, it's half. It's 20. Because my toes are broken. But I'm a new Filippo, so it's 45.
Wait, what?
Wait, huh? You push them all out of the way, and right as you do, the lightning finally strikes to the side of the wall, and you guys are all of a sudden moved out of the way. And you see Filippo crackling with lightning all around him.
Finally arriving at the 3rd level of the capital, the group finds an unexpected surprise, a portal opening up and a shadow dragon emerging from it, the same dragon they've seen before. The dragon dashed towards one of the 4 towers on the 3rd level, and the group tries to stop it and manages just barely, turning itself back into a humanoid and teleporting itself out. It's at this time where Filippo looks inside the portal the dragon came from and manages to see a place surrounded by lava and more portals surrounding it. Pulling himself back out, Shen noticed Filippo's eyes have turned pink, and after realizing it, he freaks out and gets angry with Shen, separating himself from the group and making his way to the tower on the east side. Everyone but Filippo reunites inside the tower the shadow dragon was heading towards, only to find the Cape El Santo War. The group, now discovering that each tower holds one article of clothing from El Santo's luchador suit, decides to head towards where Filippo is. Filippo, now arriving at the highest point of his tower, finds the mask, and right before he's able to grab it, a portal opens from behind him and Mil Muertes steps out of it. He tells Filippo to give him the mask, and when Filippo refuses, Mil Muertes gets on all fours, and from him 4 shadowy tails, reminiscent of Shen's ability, emerge. The two now begin to fight it out, and Filippo manages to keep up with Mil as both men fight their hardest.
I'm gonna really need that back from you, one way or another. This is so. If it's really that much to you, you'll die for it. Fine. If not, you can just hand it over. Because you seem like a smart guy.
I'm a smart guy. I know what I'm doing.
I know you know what you're doing. So how about you continue being smart and hand over the mask?
Look, I can appreciate we're having an intelligent conversation here, but I'm gonna need you to fuck off.
Oh god.
Alright
In
then.
this last word!
Oh god.
If you say so, and he starts getting down on all fours.
Oh.
Are you getting PTSD,
What the
man?
fuck?
I've seen this before.
And his eyes change from yellow to a bleeding red.
The group finally arrives and begins to make their way to Filippo when they begin to hear the signs of combat. Shen unlocks the second form of his demon possession signature and dashes up to help Filippo. In this form, he manages to push Mil Muertes through a wall from the top of the tower, managing to buy the group some time. Hammond and Sterling, now arriving where the group is, followed by Ra and Toto, begin to teleport back to Ravenwood. Hammond asks Filippo to help him retrieve Shen with his new super speed, and both succeed, finally getting everyone to arrive safely back at home from the nightmare that was Ra's hometown. And that's everything that happened in episode 9 of a Ravenwood campaign, La Santa Mascara. Thank you very much for watching this, and if you want to catch us play live, feel free to do so. We are live every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/HopeTo, so we hope to see you there next time. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.